How you going? I'm Johnny from Poor Choice and Homebrewing. And what I have here might just be your first homebrew. I see so many people brewing this in Australia that I call this the classic Australian homebrew. And it's incredibly easy to make. So let's watch me make it, hey? If it is your first one, sanitize everything. See, shake it around if you have to. Get it all in there, shake it around. Even the tap, sanitize it. And if you have the facility, chill your water. What we got here is Brew Enhancer 2. What this does is it adds body to your beer. I have no idea what body is, but it adds it. I think it gives you more alcohol too. Now this one was a little dry, so it was at crunchy blocks almost. Sanitize your spoon and mix, mix, mix. That is the yeast that came with the container, and it's basically the whole reason I made this video, so I could buy this yeast and use it in another experiment. What got off the cane then was your instructions. Some people actually need them. As you can see, I even sanitized my can opener. If you haven't learnt this trick by now, you're welcome. And a bit of hot water to soften the extract up. If you haven't learned that by now, you're welcome. You got to keep the tin sealed so the hot air doesn't go anywhere. Trying to weigh down the tin with something so the hot air doesn't go anywhere. And a 1.25 kilo weight works perfectly. And now that it's all broken down and mixed in, I'll add the water and mix it in some more. As you can see, the lid still had a bit of extract on it, so you need a little extra time. As you can see, the lid's somewhat cleaner now. It's time to check my fingers and look at the lid as I walk by. That's a pretty clean tin, isn't it? At that very moment there, I realised I made 23 litres when I only wanted to make 20 because I was kegging it and I wanted that little extra alcohol. Now the gravity reading, this is how you work out how much alcohol you've got with the hydrometer. And this came out at 1.032. So again, 1.032. Now, just to be that little bit more fancy, this is a yeast called USO5. It'll give you a clearer beer and it'll ferment quicker, gives you a better temperature range, and it's not that much more for a better result. If you're looking at my watch, when you usually do all grain, you've boiled the water for so long, there's no oxygen in it, so you got to shake it. Not as important for your extract, but it's still a good way to mix the yeast in, rehydrate it, and get a bit of oxygen in it to keep the yeast happy. And there I am adding the sanitizer into the airlock to keep the nasties out. And off to my fermentation fridge, where I'll leave it for about a week at 20 degrees.
Heads Amarillo, tails Galaxy. Heads Amarillo.
Yes, and adding hops, dry hopping it, is a good way to add a bit of flavour to your beer, because I found this beer with no hops in it was actually pretty boring. And what I'm doing here is dry hopping it, and I tried it 12 months earlier with Galaxy and it actually tasted pretty good. And I didn't really know what Amarillo tasted like, but it's a pretty popular one, so I figured I might as well try it. As you see, I measured out the hops, put it in a bag, sealed the bag, took the lid off, added the hops, lid back on, airlock in, and that's all dry hopping is. Now, for those of you playing at home, dry hopping was done in about 3 days and just adds a little extra flavour to your beer. Now, as I said, I did this 12 months earlier. When I did this 12 months earlier, I got a starting gravity of 1.042, and this one, 1.032. So what I think happened was the Brew Enhancer 2 wasn't quite broken down well enough, so I was just missing a bit of gravity from that. However, this one, fermentation, finished at a gravity reading of 1.005, giving me an alcohol content of 3.54%. However, when I did this 12 months ago, I got a finishing gravity of 1.010, giving me an alcohol content of 4.2%. So if you do this, make sure you got fresh Brew Enhancer 2. Mix it in nicely, and that'll give you the proper reading. But is it any good? It's okay. It's definitely okay. I probably should have added some more hops. I only added 20 grams because 20 grams of Galaxy was pretty good. But 20 grams of Amarillo I just don't feel was enough. I really should have added more Amarillo. So this is just a short video, and I wasn't even making a poor choice, with the exception of going from all grain back to extract. And all I was really doing it for was because I wanted that little sachet of yeast for another experiment. But if you've never done this before, I just showed you how to make beer yourself. Get your feet wet, get your hands wet. I don't know what the expression is, what the saying is. It's easy. It's really easy. You should get into it. You can make your own beer. So it's not actually that much of a poor choice. But if you did like this video, please click like. If you want to get notifications when new videos come out, please click subscribe and ring the bell. If you have a good idea for a poor choice, please write it in the comments. Until next time, I'm Johnny, and sometimes you just learn more from poor choices. Thank you.